across the world. The systems of global governance, from powerful nations to international alliances, were meant to safeguard freedom, equality, and justice. But today, have these same systems become instruments of control? Beneath the polished surface of politics and policy, human rights are quietly being eroded. From the right to life to the simple right to rest, people everywhere are facing a silent but devastating assault on their dignity and autonomy. Let's start with the most basic human right of all: the right to life. In Syria, a brutal civil war, fueled by the Assad regime and its international backers, has claimed over 600,000 lives since February 2011. In Yemen, airstrikes and years of blockade have left nearly 400,000 dead, most from starvation and disease. But war isn't the only killer. Neglect kills silently. In Nigeria, corruption drains oil wealth while hospitals crumble, leaving life expectancy at a shocking 55 years. In Iran, more than 800 people were executed in 2023 alone, many of them political dissidents. All around the world, the states that should be protecting life have become its greatest threat. Freedom, too, is under relentless assault. In North Korea, Kim Jong-un's regime enforces absolute control, with tens of thousands suffering in brutal labor camps. In China, the Communist Party's social credit system monitors over 1 billion citizens, blacklisting millions for so-called untrustworthy behavior. And don't think this is just a problem for authoritarian states. Even in democratic nations, the illusion of liberty is fading. Edward Snowden's 2013 revelations showed that the US National Security Agency was collecting data on millions of its own people. In Egypt, vague emergency laws have resulted in 65,000 political prisoners. When governments control what we think, say, and do, freedom becomes just a word on paper. And what about equality, the promise of justice for all? In Saudi Arabia, women still live under male guardianship, their choices limited despite official reforms. In India, the ancient caste system continues to marginalize $200 million. Economic inequality is spiraling out of control. In the United States, the richest 1% now hold a third of the nation's wealth, while millions struggle just to survive. Across Brazil's favelas and Africa's slums, poverty and neglect expose the widening gap between those who rule and those who endure. Our freedom of thought and religion is also under fire. In China's Xinjiang province, over 1 million Uyghur Muslims have been forced into detention camps for re-education. In Iran, members of the Baha'i faith face imprisonment just for practicing their beliefs. In France, Muslim women continue to protest hijab bans, calling them a new form of state-sanctioned exclusion. And in Turkey, hundreds of journalists sit in jail for daring to challenge the government. When faith, speech, and thought are punished, truth itself becomes dangerous. Millions are also denied the right to work, learn, and live with dignity. In Afghanistan, the Taliban ban on girls' education has slammed the door on the futures of more than 1 million girls. In Bangladesh, garment workers endure 16-hour shifts for less than $100 a month. In Qatar, thousands of migrant laborers who built the World Cup stadiums died. Their stories, buried along with them, even rest the simple right to pause is disappearing. In Japan, overwork, known as karoshi, claimed more than 2,000 lives last year. This all raises a haunting question. If our most basic rights like freedom, equality, and justice are being systematically stripped away, what remains of our global promise of democracy? The system is reinforced by authoritarian leaders, corporate greed, and our own political apathy. But there is hope. Movements like Sudan's 2019 revolution, led by courageous youth like Ela Salah, prove that people can still rise up and reclaim their voices. The erosion of human rights is not an accident. It is a consequence of unchecked power. Global governance, once envisioned as a force for peace, now often serves the interests of the powerful few. But change begins when silence ends. The future of freedom depends not on governments, but on Usan people willing to speak when others are silenced and to act when others turn away. Because silence is a form of surrender. The right to live, to speak, to believe, to rest, and to dream, these are not privileges. They are the essence of what it means to be human. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to join the conversation.